Hello everybody, Mr. Bird again. It is time to go over Module 2, Lesson 12. Before we jump into that, I do want to thank everyone for your hard work. I've really been pleased each day or each morning when I wake up, I'll log in and I receive notifications on my phone that you guys are in class and you're working away. And it does let me know when you comment. If you ask a question, I get an alert on my phone, and so I'm able to message back to you, hopefully, and answer questions that you have. Again, thank you all so much. I'm sorry I can't be with you right now to teach this lesson in person, so we're going to do the best that we can do in this situation. And again, if you have questions for me, feel free to let me know. So we're looking at Module 2, Lesson 12, and we're going to jump right into it. The first thing is your response journal topic. I'm going to move my camera here. That way you guys can see the topic just a little bit better. Let's see. I'm having to adjust my screen some tonight. The slides are different. There we go. We'll try that. All right. Before delivering Milo and Tot to the dungeon, Officer Shrift stated, "You'll find it quite pleasant here, not much company. But you can always chat with the witch." Now that's found on page 63 of your book. So if you want to go back and read that section, you can. But based on what you know about wordplay and what you've learned about Norton Jester's characters in the previous chapters, I want you to write down in your response journal, what do you imagine this witch will be like? So if you want to, pause the video right here, take just a second, write down a few sentences of what you predict or what you think this witch will be like. Okay, I'll let you pause the video, come back when you're ready to go to the next part. All right, so for our launch activity today, we're going to look at a couple of things. I'm going to put our framing question up. Let me get that there. It says, framing question, reveal. What does a deeper exploration of the witch and her story reveal? So we're going to be meeting a new character in this lesson today, or in this part of our reading, and it's a witch. We're going to dig in a little bit more to learn more about her, see what we can find out. All right, so as we read the rest of chapter 5 today, we will gain a focus on a new character that Milo and Tok meet and the story she tells. All right, so I'm going to move again myself here on the screen. Let's go right over here. And I want you to notice here it says, what do you notice and wonder about the character's name, Witch? Does this change the way that we view this character? Now, a couple things I noticed is that her name is spelled W-H-I-C-H instead of W-I-T-C-H. Huh. Well, maybe she's actually not a witch, or maybe she has special powers like a witch, but her powers have to do with words. All right, so I know that Jester likes to play with words, so I have a feeling that's going to be something with words here. All right, so let's look at the next part. So we've got two words, witch and witch. All right, I know those sound the same, but they are spelled differently. WHICH means asking for, specifying information, referring to something previously mentioned. WHITCH is a woman thought to have magical powers, and she's often an unpleasant woman. All right, so let's see which one she is. So pay attention to witch, WHICH, and the story she shares with Milo and Tok to discover more about her, and of course Norton Jester's wordplay. Let's look. All right, so let's review those events that led up to Milo and Tok's imprisonment. What caused them to get there? Now, I'm going to let you pause the video. If you want to discuss with a friend, you can, and talk about what were the things that caused them to be led into prison. And then when you guys are ready, or when you're ready with your partner, you can resume. Or if you want to work on your own, you can. So we have a couple of vocabulary words that we need to know. The first one is brevity. And I'm sorry, my camera's covering up a little bit there, but brevity, that's the writing or saying of much in few words. So that's brevity is briefness, terseness, and conciseness. That means you're concise, right to the point. Wit is a noun. That's the ability to express oneself in clever ways that amuse people, the ability to think or reason, intelligence, cleverness, humor. So corrupts is a verb. And that means cause to become dishonest or wicked, spoils, ruins, poisons. Miserly. That's a new word, miserly. That's an adverb. It's like a greedy or stingy person who lives in a poor way in order to save money. So they may have a lot of money, but they drive an older car. Some people call them cheap, tight, stingy, uh, but they're called miserly. Follow along as well. I'm going to pause right here. So what I want you to do, instead of me reading the rest of chapter 5, you can pause the video, take a few minutes, read the rest of chapter 5. If you haven't done so, you need to do so. And then I want you to finish that out and stop where it says, you know something, talk, and then we'll stop right there. So you can pause the video. I'll be here when you get back. All right, so partner work. All right, record the witch's name. Let me move the camera here a little bit. So it says record the witch's name faintly macabre. In the first row, that's going to be right here. This is 6A that we're working on. So you're going to put it in that first row and then complete the rows for descriptions and illustrations. So just read these sections here, right here, and fill those in. And then it says use a student-friendly dictionary to look up the words faintly and macabre and record the meaning under actual definition and literal definition. I'll reverse those. There you go. And then explain the word play. So you can pause the video, work on that with your partner if you would like to. Again, I would suggest using Google and just look up the words, see what those words mean. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. Whoops, sorry about that. Click out of here. Underneath the actual definition, paraphrase the meaning of the whole phrase faintly macabre using the definition of each word. So I'm going to leave that there. If you want to skip on past, you can do that. That's fine. Okay. All right, let's see here. Okay. So, how are Faintly Macabre's name and title, The Witch, examples of wordplay? Explain how Juster plays with the words witch and witch. Faintly and Macabre in describing the character. So, Faintly Macabre is a fitting name because the author describes her as pleasant-looking old lady, quietly knitting and rocking. People often expect witches to be horrible and gruesome. This witch is only ever so slightly, faintly, gruesome and wicked. Macabre. All right, so TDQs, and I'm going to move the screen here. It says, what was the witch's former job in the kingdom? So what did she do before she was a witch? Well, her job was to choose which words were the best ones to use at various times. She made sure no words were repeated, I believe is what it says there. So compare this to Talk's job. In what ways are they similar? So how is she and Talk very similar? All right, what does the witch mean when she says, but power corrupts? What power is she referring to and how did it corrupt her? So being in a position of power can lead people to use their power in a bad or wrong way. In the witch's case, Her power was to choose words to be used for different occasions. She became possessive of her words and began to keep them all for herself. So it says, describe the sequence of events that led to the witch being in prison. Use the sentence frames first, eventually, this led to, then, and finally. So I've got an example here. So first, the witch made fewer and fewer words available. Eventually, this led to the word market being shut down. Then, people stopped talking because they didn't have any words to say. And finally, when the king saw this, he threw her in jail. How has the kingdom changed in faintly Macabray's absence? Where have you seen evidence of this change in the book so far? So the king appointed a new witch, and people now use many words as they can. This change is seen in the king's advisors, who think more words they use, the better. All right, so I'm going to move over here. And you should have a copy of 11A. I'll make sure we have a copy of that. And what I want you to do, it says follow along as I read aloud the purpose, introduction, and task. Okay, so let me get my notes here. I got mine here. So that's 11A. It says character snapshot, 11A. I'm trying to find my notes. All right. Okay, here we go. It's not on my notes. Okay. It says, I read the following snapshot about the mayor of the town of Abandon, Mayor McQuitter, as we talked about in the last lesson, and think about how the character shows readers, or how the author shows readers this character's traits or personality. Okay, so you can look back at 11A and read that one on your own. Now, before you begin brainstorming ideas for your character, it's important that you have a deeper understanding of the word abandon. So what we're going to be doing today, I'll pause right here, is we are going to be working on developing our own character. Okay, so you should have a copy of 12A that's going to be handed out to you. That should be copied and ready for you to go. Now on handout 12A, let me get mine here. Let me get my notes. Sorry guys, hold on just a second. Okay. Handout 12A. This is your focusing question task 2. All right. And let me get my slides updated here. Okay, I'm gonna move here. All right. Skip the Freyer model. All right. Now, let's see. Okay, so I want you to take handout 12A. I'm going to read through this with you just a second. It says purpose. This task will give you an opportunity to express your understanding so far of the focusing question. How can writers use wordplay to develop a story's setting and characters? The short narrative writing piece you will create for this task will help you prepare to craft longer narrative pieces for focusing question task 3 and the end of module task. For the past several weeks, you've been learning how author Norton Juster plays with words to turn concepts like expectations and lethargy into actual places and characters in his novel, The Phantom Tollbooth. Now, think about the imaginary town of Abandon that you've read about and how its name offers clues about what the town and its people, such as Mayor McQuitter, are like. Milo passes through Abandon. He notices a sign for Abandon Elementary School, whose motto is, "If at first you don't succeed, you might as well give up. Kind of opposite to the motto for Mary Blunt, which is bear. And Dr. Robinette goes over that each day with you guys. So the abandoned elementary school, their motto is, if at first you don't succeed, you might as well give up. Now imagine a character Milo might meet at abandoned elementary school. What might this character be like? What might this character's attitude towards school and learning be? How would he or she look, act, and talk in a way that reveals this attitude and reflects his or her name and the meaning of abandon? Your task: create a character. It could be a student, a teacher, principal, or other school employee that Milo might meet from abandoned elementary school, whose name is a play on words related to the meaning of abandon. Write a narrative snapshot to describe this character as Milo might meet him or her, to create a vivid picture in your reader's mind of what this character is like. Begin with a brief description of abandoned elementary school and how Milo meets this character. Then zoom in to give the readers a snapshot of your character, using concrete sensory details to capture how he or she looks, acts, and speaks. Remember, your description should reflect the wordplay of your character's name and the meaning of abandon. Revise your writing to add vivid verbs and concrete sensory details to make your characters come alive for readers. So also on your handout, so you're writing a paragraph and you're pretending that Milo has discovered this elementary school called Abandoned Elementary. And so I want you to write a paragraph, a narrative, and just a made up story of Milo going to this abandoned elementary school, and describe to us, the reader, what the school is like, and then introduce one of the characters that Milo might run into. And remember, I want you to zoom in on that character and really do a good job of describing what this character is like, what they say, how they act, what their attitude is. It could be a teacher, a principal, it could be the custodian, whoever, bus driver. But just think about what somebody would be like that goes to abandon elementary school. Do you think they're really going to care about much? So have fun with this assignment. It's a little fun with it. All right, so your paragraph character snapshot should establish characters, setting, establish characters, setting, which is abandoned elementary school, a situation in the opening lines, including Milo and your character. So in the very beginning, I want to see Milo and your character meet up. Describe what the character looks like in a way that playfully reflects the character's name and the meaning of abandon. Use dialogue and a description to show the character's words and actions and reveal his or her attitude and beliefs about school and learning. Now, if you go to a school named Abandon, do you think you're going to be excited about school and excited about learning? Use concrete and sensory detailed words to create a vivid picture of the character and reinforce the word play of his or her name. Include at least one quotation the character might say that reflects the character's name and his or her attitude or belief about school and learning. Use correct spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. Now, you'll also be given handout 12B. This is a character snapshot planner. What I want you to do, for time's sake on this video, I'm not going to go step by step through there. You'll have this worksheet. So what I want you to do with the handout 12B is to use it to help you plan out this situation, what your character looks like. Follow the steps for parts 1 and 2 to help you develop your character from abandoned elementary school. Use the planner to help you organize your ideas. So you'll have a copy of that. It's going to look very similar to this, handout 12B. So follow step one, or part 1, do all those steps. Go to the back side, do all of part 2, follow those steps, and use that to help you plan out your paragraph. Okay. let's see here. Let me see if I got any slides I need to show you here. So, okay, we looked at Mayor McQuitter. That's an example from yesterday's lesson. She is the mayor of the town of Bandon, so you can see, you remember what she was like. So now imagine what a principal or a teacher or a student or a faculty member at Bandon Elementary would look like. All right. So how do I plan a character snapshot just of a Juster-like character? You're going to follow those directions that you see. Let me move my screen here on 12B. I just went over that with you. It says, remember the importance of thinking about your character's traits or personalities and beliefs, specifically his or her beliefs and attitude about school and learning. Your character's traits and beliefs should relate to the meaning of the word abandon. So to make this simple, you're writing a fun paragraph about a made-up character that works or goes to school at abandoned elementary school. They're probably not going to have a positive attitude, so you can have fun with it. This is your creation. All right. Once you've decided your character's name and what he or she is like on the inside, the next lesson you'll begin thinking about how to show those qualities through your character's actions and words in the snapshot. Remember that juxtaposition in a work of art refers to how the artist places things close together or side by side. When we are organizing what was happening in the painting, we noticed that the arrangements of the objects made the images seem surreal. All right, let's see. I'm going to pause. Let me look here. Let me look at something here. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. And the main thing I want you to do today is take the handout A12A, go through, read the directions on there, and then to kind of get an idea in your head, I'm going to be writing my character. Here are the things on the back that I want you to have. You'll see that. And I want you to spend time planning what your character snapshot will look like. Again, it's just a fun paragraph. Don't make this too difficult. Just read it, go step by step, do the best you can on that. And if you have any questions, reach out to me, let me know. And when you finish with this, uh, just you can put it aside. We'll pick up with it next weekend, or if you want to use, or next week, if you want to use this weekend to go over it, you can. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me, and I can follow up, hopefully by message like I have been. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Work on your IXL, eye reading, anything like that that you might do if you get this finished. So I hope that's a clear lesson for you. Hope you understand what we're doing. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.